Happy Sunday, Sainers. Welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the round 22 edition of 5 Things We Learned. This week, we took on Richmond. We got the job done by 4 points, a very stressful game. And these are my 5 things. So please put your 5 things in the comments. As always, sponsored by Mornington Peninsula Brewery. Check out their website and products at mpbrew.com.au. Number 1, I learned that we fielded a younger side than Richmond yesterday, which is kind of surprising, really, considering their rebuild and the amount of kids that they've been playing. But yesterday, the average age for Richmond was 26.1. Obviously, Tom Lynch returning, that would have bumped it up a little bit. But on the flip side, we fielded a team at 25.3. And obviously, we had Phillippo, Wilson, and Henry come in, which would have obviously dropped the age down. So for Taru, that was his first win on the MCG, his first game on the MCG, I believe. So that's the sort of journey that we're on at the moment. Obviously, the game itself was a bit of a struggle town, but when you look at the team we fielded, the players that got invaluable experience again, and they found a way. I think that's really important. So obviously, we'll probably field a very similar team on Friday night against Essendon, but I just thought I'd put that in there at number 1 when, some people might look at it and go, we should have belted them. Well, they were the more senior team, more experienced team. Who would have thought? Number 2, another game, another week, we would have loved a big power forward out there. How many 5 things have I done where I've said that it would have been nice to have Max King there? Just would have been nice to have anyone really that was able to clunk that ball. Obviously, the delivery at times was pretty average, and even someone like Riley Thilthorpe would struggle in that forward 50 with the way the ball was coming in. But we just didn't have an absolute target. So I just felt like every time we got 60, 70 out, there was a little bit of uncertainty on which lead to go for, who was demanding it, who's the man. And we don't have that type of player in the forward half right now. Obviously in the midfield, Naz could be called the man. Down back, Wilkie is the man. Up forward right now, some weeks it's Owens who didn't play, which I think hurt us big time with that sort of competitiveness at ground ball. But in the air, the man is probably Cooper Sharman. And even then, he is, mostly undersized against some of the defenders that he plays against. So I can't wait to see our forward line when we've got those roles covered. And then, the Sharmans and Owens and Phillippo and these sort of players can kind of play off the big guy. But right now, they have to be that player. And a defense like Richmond had a lot of experience down there. Definitely got the better of our forwards at times there. The amount of intercept marks they took was, I lost count at one point. Number 3, speaking of Phillippo, if you're going to play him, I just thought it was, setting him up for failure, playing him out of the square for the whole game. He played 70% of the game, 3 disposals, 3 tackles. He made countless decent leads out of the square, and we completely ignored him. Or the ball was just absolutely butchered going inside 50 in his direction, and it just gave him no chance to compete. I kind of felt sorry for him. Maybe that's just fitness. Maybe that's building him up, but it just felt like if you're going to play him where he plays his best football, or don't play him at all. And I think in the midfield, he didn't play a second in the midfield. His 3 touches was forward, and then on either wing, pushing up the ground to try and find the footy. So, the game itself probably set up most of our forwards to fail, but I just kind of felt sorry for Phillippo just getting called up to not really get anywhere near the pill, and it wasn't really his own fault, to be honest. And the same goes for Zach Jones. We play Zach Jones, and I see him at half forward. What's the point? I would rather have Toby Travalia at that position. If you're going to play Zach Jones, he's in the guts, or he's the sub, or he's not playing at all. Those are the 3 scenarios for me. I don't see the value in having him and Brad Hill at half forward. They're not really... Brad Hill can play half forward at times, but Zach Jones is not a half forward. I don't see how that would benefit. Maybe subbing off Max Heath meant that we wanted to hit the ground a bit more and not really focus on the air game, because that was clearly what Richmond were beating us at. So avoiding that and going for the smaller sized forward line maybe was the logic there, but I just don't think Zach Jones is a half forward. He's a contested midfielder, or he's playing at Sandy. I just thought that was a bit perplexing at times. I could be wrong. Maybe that was a catalyst to us winning the game in the last, but when I saw it, I just thought, what's the point? Phillippo in the square, not getting near it. Zach Jones not in the position that he's played his football in for his career. That just seemed like a couple of wasted decisions there, and maybe we could have done a bit better. Number 4, Cal Wilkie is going to be All-Australian again. He has to be All-Australian again. 29 disposals, 16 marks, saved us on countless occasions in this game. Without Cal Wilkie, I don't think we win this game. He got the Ian Stewart medal as well for best on ground, much deserved. And if he's not in the squad, if he's not in the All-Australian team, I would be staggered. I think he's one of the best defenders in the competition, and he had his work cut out for him yesterday. Obviously, we didn't play our best football, and the ball was coming in quite a bit, probably more so than he was expecting. Tom Lynch returning, Noah Bolter down there causing problems. I just thought he stood up when we needed him to, and I can't think of a bad game this guy's played. I don't think I've pumped him up nearly enough this season, but Cal Wilkie, you're an absolute superstar, and we are very lucky to have you. And without you yesterday, that could have gone the other way. Number 5, bit of a positive one. I know that yesterday was an ugly game. It's been talked about. Ross called it top 5 worst, ugliest games he's been a part of. The players, I like that Jack Sinclair came out and said that we didn't play anywhere near the way we trained during the week, and I really like that he put that on the players and not the coaches, that they didn't deliver what the coaches had told them to do. So that's a point in itself, really, is to adapt when a team's not letting you play the way you train during the week. We need to be coming up with answers a bit better than what we did yesterday. But speaking of coming up with answers, the last 3 weeks I've learnt that although they haven't been the most convincing wins, obviously the Melbourne game was special, but 3/4 of it wasn't great. We've found a way to win in different ways in all of those games. Melbourne were the better team for 3/4. We could have put the cue in the rack in the 4th, but we played helter-skelter, we played frenetic football, and we got the job done. Against North, they jumped us. Got 20 points up, we hit back, and we had a really good third quarter. We got 20 points up, then they hit back, but we still steadied and got the job done. We didn't panic in that situation. And then yesterday, we jumped Richmond. They had the better of us in Q2, Q3, had an 8-point lead going into the 4th. First goal in that quarter, it could make things very interesting. And we found a way to kick, I think 3-2 or something like that in that quarter, and we win. So the one thing I'll say is, although the games have been pretty ugly to watch from a Saints fan point of view and just a general spectator, really, we haven't buckled and we've played to the final siren. So I'm really impressed by that. And some of the key moments in these games have been driven by our kids. It's not like we are relying on Steele, Sinks, and these sort of guys to get us. Obviously, I just mentioned Cal Wilkie, but my point is, Taru yesterday in his first half, starring role, was brilliant. Naz obviously has been huge. Windy had a huge first half yesterday. There's highlights in these games that is the future, which I really like. And I think even if it's an ugly win, it's invaluable for some of these players to experience that victory, to be able to sing the song in the rooms. Like I said, Taru's first game in the MCG, his first win. He'll never forget that. And that's just reward for effort that we've been talking about for about 6-7 weeks that we didn't get when we were playing the top teams. So I just thought that was a very important note. And finding a way to win, even when you're not playing your best, that's a trait that a lot of good teams have. And although we have played teams around us that are bottom 4, it's good that we're still winning. Winning beats everything. It trumps everything. And the last 3 weeks we've done that. And we've got a chance on Friday night to do it for a 4th time in a row. So that's my 5 things. Sainers, put your 5 things in the comments just to round it out. Number 1, we actually fielded a younger team than Richmond yesterday. Number 2, another game, another week, we would have loved a big power forward. Someone to own the forward line, to really dictate where that ball goes. Number 3, Filippo in the square, Jones at half forward. Kind of perplexing for me. If you're not playing them in their best positions, I don't see why you play them. Number 4, Cal Wilkie will be All-Australian again in my books. And number 5, despite the ugliness of the last 3 weeks, we have found a way to win in different ways each time, which is a good sign. So thanks very much, Sainers. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. And as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.
Get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.